Hello everyone, I'm Broffy1322 and welcome to another content creator live stream. We are back on Xbox to go through another 7 race creations from the community. It's going to just go here. We had a meetup of sort of classic cars. The Xbox side are being total scumbags with horns, which is to be expected. And this isn't the best place for a meetup, to be honest. With the traffic is a nightmare. But yeah, we did sort of a classic car, old car style meetup. I got some interesting choices, but yeah, another seven race tracks that we're going to be going through, created by the community. We'll play through them all. I'll give my thoughts whether they're any good or not, and thoughts on whether they can be improved and things like that. And we'll just have some fun racing and hopefully some better racing than last week. And yeah, those of you watching on YouTube, the next thing you'll see is the start of the first race. Okay, so first race in the rear view. I do have some high hopes for this one. It looks like it could be a fun mirror park race, kind of like the sort of thing that I've been wanting to see for a while. So we'll see how it goes. What the? Okay, that's fine. As always, the links for all these races are down below in the description to those watching on the YouTubes. Wow, Valmalawitz's lag is just horrific. Yeah, links for all these races are in the description on YouTube. And if you want to submit your own tracks to potentially be showcased on these streams, there's a link in the description for that as well. Valmalawitz's lag is just too much. Oh, there we go, he's lagged out. Interesting, so we've got a bit of track around the horse, horse track, dog track, whatever it is. And then we've got, oh okay, this is an interesting route. This is new. Carry the speed around there. Know that for future reference. Wow! I can't believe we managed to get through that. Choice. Alright, so I always give my opinions on these tracks on the second lap onwards. Okay, that didn't go well. That did not go well. So yeah, we generally follow the same sort of routine on these live streams where I play through the first lap of each track and then I give my thoughts on the second lap and onwards. I really like this. I love the layout. It's exactly the sort of thing that I've been wanting. A track that dips in and out of Mirror Park, because Mirror Park itself is a nice place. I quite like to race around there.
Oh, what a scumbag!
But it's too tight and too small to be able to have a race that's only in Mirror Park. And I've always wanted a track that starts in Mirror Park or has a section of Mirror Park in it, but then uses all these new roads and new prop pieces to link Mirror Park to other sections of the map in exactly the same way that this is done. I mean, it's a little bit of a bonus that it uses the dog track or the horse track, I don't know what it is, and and it also uses the drain as well. So we've got 3 areas that are rarely used in proper circuit races because they're just difficult. Yeah, I really like the layout. I really like the layout. This is exactly the sort of thing that I've wanted from a Mirror Park circuit. The only thing that is the problem in my eyes is the lampposts. There are a lot of lampposts that aren't covered over. And I really feel that it's especially ones that we've seen here, since they're all in a line, it is very, very easy to cover them. I would, you can use the long barriers for track pieces and things like that. There are hugely long barriers, even the long blocks. You can get huge blocks now that just take up one prop piece. Surely it would be very, very easy to just cover those using those long blocks. I don't see any reason to have lampposts to such a degree. That's the only thing that I don't like. The first part of the track, this part, lamppost on the left there. With GTA being a laggy game as it is, the chance to knock things over isn't just, all the lampposts here really could do with being covered over, or a lot of them. Missing a barrier where you flew off. All the lampposts down here, I mean, there's just so many that surely could easily be covered over. But apart from that, apart from the lack of lamppost coverage, I really do like the rest of the track. I love the layout. I love that we actually have a use for Mirror Park. I don't know about the barrier not being on the outside. I think outside barriers don't matter so much, to be honest. I mean, I guess I did fall into another part of the track when I made that mistake earlier, but I mean, that was a stupid mistake to make, to be honest. So, Saki Bomb with the 20 months in a row. Glad to see the chokes continue. Thank you so much for the 20 months in a row. Yeah, you're not kidding. The chokes have significantly continued. But that's just me. That's just what I do. I choke. What can I do? What can I say? Thank you so much for the 20 months, man. Pineapple J with a 1 bit. That'd be a horsey track. Okay, fair enough, the horse track. Should have asked why we can't have a dev creator. Yeah, we really do need the dev creator. Yeah, I like that track. I really, really like that track. Too many open lampposts. But apart from that, really, really nice. Great layout. Great layout, great use of different roads and new roads. Something totally fresh. Great start to the playlist, actually. Really, really good. Quite a few lampposts seem to be covered by the concrete cylinders. Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand. Like, there was a few lampposts that were covered over with single props for each lamppost, and then so many lampposts that weren't covered over. And I feel like it would just be so much easier to have those barriers just as a wall in front of all the lampposts. Okay, another 3 laps on this one. We'll do Sports Classics. Why not? As always, we just kind of like take a little bit of a chill. Just take a little bit of a chill in between races, just for me to, get my thoughts, collect my thoughts before we go on to the next one. I am tired today. I am tired. Xanthor with a 15-bit lamppost. Didn't see that. Thank you, man. Imagine that race on PC with the lamppost removed by PC Magic. Indeed. Well, it's not really PC Magic, that's the thing. It's a dev creator, so the devs have access to the ability to remove lampposts. It's just that they're not giving us the creator abilities to do it. You can do quite a few things that we can't do with the dev creator. Like,
He gets such a huge boost from...
I wish they would just give us it. I wish they would just give us the dev creator and the ability to remove lampposts. I don't understand why. Why not? The functionality is there in the game. Why can't they just give us the ability to do it? Woozy with a $5. Just watched your how to support vid, but I use adblock, so here's the tax. Fair enough. Thank you so much, Woozy, for the $5. That probably buys you like a year's worth of ads, I imagine, because the rate of ads is so low. But thank you so much for the donation, man. I do have an ad block absolution option on Patreon. It's just a thing on Patreon where you can donate $1 every month, and it completely absolves you of any guilt about using ad block on any of my things, because really that $1 a month is more than what I would make from probably someone watching ads on my videos anyway. But it's at least you know at least similar. So, but thank you so much, Woozy. I always say that, you know, I never judge people. If people want to use ad block, then that's absolutely fine. It's just, you know, if people do want to support the people that they like to watch, then then ideally ad block isn't the best way to do it, but as long as you're there watching, that's all that really matters. Guilt? What's that? Okay. So we got sort of a bit of a slight city and slight Vinewood Hills track, it seems. Oh yeah, I'm not even gonna. Let's not talk about it. I'm not talking about the tracks on the first lap. I'm not having any of that. We're gonna get some thoughts about what's going on and what the track's like, and then we'll talk about what it's like on the second lap. Oh, that's a lot of lag. That's a lot of lag. That's a lot of lag. That's lag. Many lags. That's what this game is now. GTA is just a lag fest. Dedicated servers, Rockstar. Give us them. Okay, this is interesting. What's all that? Can you imagine this game with dedicated servers? It'd be so good. Anyway. that's a topic for another time. That's a topic for the podcast or something. Oh, okay. Alright, so this track immediately is very rough, it seems. It's not quite as polished as it could be. Which is good, because then I can actually talk about what can be improved. That's kind of what these showcases are about, not just showcasing the best tracks, but also giving tips on specific tracks that other people can take from that for their own tracks. So I really hate those flame things if it's trying to be a proper racing circuit. I personally don't like them, but it's just a style thing. Jesus, Turismo is so much better than the Infernus. Yeah, it just feels very rough. It feels like it's focused a lot on the sections that are brand new and inventive, and it's. I mean that.
What a scumbag!
That as an Apex prop isn't very good. There's so many better Apex props that you could have. This is a bit. I don't know. It feels sort of kind of mashed together a little bit. I'm sure lots of thought went into it, but whether it was like, you know, the track pieces are quite like, what's this bit all about? I think the track has potential. It's just the time has been put in the wrong places. Like all these lampposts on the right hand side. The old Apex prop. These lamppost on the apexes of corners. That's like an absolute dead no-no. Lampposts all over the road on here. To miss a lamppost there. I really don't like flames, but this lamppost is ridiculous. Right in the middle. And then we got lampposts in here, not covered over. The reason that I always say about lampposts, by the way, for anybody who doesn't know, is because you knock them over and then it ruins the race for everybody else behind, and they just cause so many issues. The prop usage is bad, yeah. And someone just said that in the chat. The prop usage is a little bit rough. It's not quite as refined as some of the other tracks are that we see. Like, you know, when you're looking at some of the very best tracks in the game, the props are used a lot better. I don't mind the layout and the new things that have been done. It is quite innovative in terms of the new stuff, and it makes new roads and connects different roads together and things like that. So in that respect, it's done good. It's just that, like I said, it's rough. The props could be done better. It's not like on the level of some of the better tracks that we have and have played on these streams, where things are just all perfectly aligned and the right props are used for apexes. But not checkpoints or barriers. Lampposts are covered over by barriers and things like that. Just some strange choices. It's not necessarily the styling of the track that I like, because I'm never very... Just lucky to get away with that one. I'm never too critical of the styling of a track. It's more the execution of the track. I don't mind the layout. It's just the execution isn't all that great. A lot of effort has gone in, but in the wrong places is how I would best describe it, I think. The idea is good, but it needs some work. Yeah, when it comes to sort of the styling of circuits, there's some things that I don't like and some things that I do like. When it comes to tracks trying to be a proper racing circuit, of course, there's certain things that I see and I think that just doesn't fit in a proper racing circuit to me. But I would never, as long as it works, as long as whatever props have been chosen or whatever visual things have been chosen, visual choices have been made for the track, as long as it works for good racing, then I'm not going to criticize it too much. That's all. I'll just no, it doesn't matter really. So I'm never too critical about styling things. It's more whether it actually works as a it works as a proper racing circuit for good racing and doesn't cause issues whilst you're racing around it, things like that. Yeah, quite a few issues, a few checkpoints as well. Not that great. Could be better. Let's leave it like that. Cap Mestizo with the 2-month subscription. Beep beep, I'm a sheep. Say beep beep, I'm a sheep. Is that a reference to something that I don't know? Thank you so much for the 2 months in a row, Cap Mestizo. Yeah, I feel like that previous track hasn't been looked at for a while. Maybe it was submitted because people asked this as well. Are we really going to do supers? Let's do sports. Yeah, there's never... People ask this about like time limits and things like that, of if your track hasn't been showcased within 4 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, things like that, then will it ever be showcased? And there really isn't a time limit. You're submitting your track. It might never get shown. It might get shown. If it's been maybe 3 months and it still hasn't been shown, then maybe you can start to lose hope. But I'm sure, I feel like that track might have been one of the early submissions and hasn't been touched since. I don't know. But yeah, basically when you submit a track to this content creator stuff, you're submitting it, and my team of people who help me out, and I'm very grateful for what they do because there's so many submissions. They go through and they try out the tracks and rate them for me, and I choose from that. There are still and that's another thing. There are so many tracks. There's a lot of good tracks as well. We're getting a little bit short on the Xbox side, but for the other two platforms in particular, there's so many tracks that it's difficult to... Should I use a photo? I'm going to use a photo. You know, and I basically just choose the tracks that I want from week to week based on, you know, just picking them and seeing what they're like, and, you know, having a variety of different locations for a stream and things like that. There's no sort of set thing where if you get a track in early, you're going to be featured quicker or anything like that. So we just showcase good tracks, or at least to a certain level. But we are getting very low on the Xbox side at this point. We still need to do a bad track showcase, and that will probably happen on one of the Xbox weeks. Because that's going to be the one where we're sort of struggling to have good enough circuits to feature. But if I do a bad track showcase, it's only ever going to be to, you know, have a lot of constructive criticism in a way of like, in a way of sort of what not to do, rather than just ripping on tracks for the sake of it. I mean, that's something that I always try to do. I always try to make these content creator live streams constructive, not just for the people who created the tracks, but also for the people watching who create different tracks and want some tips and things like that, and what to do and what not to do and things like that. Missed the checkpoint, I'm done. That's my fault though. thumbnail photo. I guess it is. This is actually a photo that I got for the crew battle that we did back in the day on old gen. But it is very, very similar to the thumbnail photo as well. The old gen videos thumbnail photo. Old GTA racing videos. Got the big old wing on the back. Alright, so I like this. First immediate thoughts are this is quite nice. Airport track with something a bit extra to it. Feels very, not very, but somewhat Ron Raceway-y. Lots of stunt road on this section. I'm guessing that's because it's like it's creating a completely new piece of track. I don't know. I do take what was said in the chat there. Like the airport is as smooth as can be. Do you really need extra stunt road? Because it kind of, but then again, maybe it's trying to induce the curb boosting because airport tracks are notoriously quite boring because it's all just smooth roads. Maybe it's trying to induce a bit of curb boosting on that sort of back straight section. Gone wrong. That's nicely created. I like the bridge. The bridge is a nice touch. Yeah, I see that the stunt road is used in places to get over the grass. It does make a different line over the airport with what you could normally have. So you know, I get that obviously. Oh my god. I've just gone back into the pack. Wait, can you cut that? Can you cut that corner? I need to test that on the next lap. I like that aspect. How you come back up here and you're seeing cars on the other side of the road take that high speed left-hander. That's a pretty nice touch. It's nice that we've got airport tracks that do have a little bit of character. Rather than just, you know, old version of Ron Raceway. I mean, I've always liked the layout of Ron Raceway, but, you know, I fully get that it was one hell of a boring track. Especially from a visual standpoint. The old version anyway, new version's a lot better. But yeah, it's a nice airport track. I'm going to test that back chicane though. If that's the case, it loses a few points. not tested well enough. I mean, maybe you don't. Yeah, that would save time. That would surely save. I mean, you're full throttle all of that section, but yeah, that's a bit of an issue when you put in a chicane and you can just skip over it. Checkpoint issues, things like this are what you've got to think about when it comes to checkpoints. Yeah, I like that section that you got them to the left there. But yeah, you know, you gotta think about that sort of stuff. It's not just about putting checkpoints in the right places, but you got to make sure there's no exploits like that. It doesn't go over the grass, does it not? The stunt piece at the back doesn't actually go over the grass, so there really is no need for it to be there. Is that right? I didn't pay attention to that actually. If it doesn't, if that's true, and the stunt piece road doesn't actually go over any of the grass, then I don't see the point of having any of that there. Yeah, slow down zone on the outside of that chicane would solve the problem. Anything really. But yeah, I quite like that track. It's a nice it's a nice circuit. So that's the third track out of the 7. The order of the list for the tracks down below in the description for those watching this on YouTube is always in the order in which we play the races. Let's do 3 laps again. This one was listed as a themed circuit. So we're going to do supers, but I'm not going to call it our supers track. We might do supers again on one of the proper tracks. But I'm going to, because it's a themed circuit, or it's been suggested, it's been put down as a themed circuit. I always try to, and the same goes for stunt races or rally races or things like that. I always try to leave it on the default settings, and then it's the proper racing circuits that we do where we can, you know, change tracks and things like that, because really proper circuits should be able to handle multiple classes. But yeah, first of all, the description is not too good. ... But yeah, if you do submit your circuit for potential review to be on these content creator streams, make sure that you submit them in the right option. You know, we've got a lot of different options of proper racing circuit, stunt circuit, rally circuit, special vehicle circuit option we've got now. Like I said, themed circuit, which a themed circuit is kind of like a something that you can't really put into any of the other categories. It can be, you know, a stadium circuit, or it's got a particular theme about the visuals and how you race with it, things like that. And this one has been put down as a themed circuit. All of the other tracks tonight were all put down as proper racing circuits. Like I said, we are getting quite low on Xbox submissions, and we had sort of run out of very, very good circuits in other classes of type of track. Good old Italy. I always feel like I'm too close. Like, even on the far camera, I feel like I'm not far enough. I'm guessing that's the pit lane. The pit lane that you could definitely cross over into if you needed to. That's a flip. I don't see how this is a themed circuit. Am I missing something? Is there meant to be a particular theme to this circuit? Oh, trees. Because if it's meant to be a themed circuit, you can sort of forgive some of the slight issues. Oh, we got a little split. Interesting. It's better to go right, I think. I saw a tyre stack 0 out of 10, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's meant to have a particular theme to it, where a tyre stack makes more sense. That's the thing. That's if you're gonna put down a themed circuit, it has to actually have a theme, and the theme has to be clear what the theme is. And all the prop decisions have to play into that theme. Like we had the Tron track on PC before, and it had obviously all the sort of square coloured floor and walls and things like that, and you were racing on Shitaros, so everything about the track played into the Tron theme. But I'm not getting the theme of this one, in all honesty. It feels more like it's trying to be a proper racing circuit. Maybe it was misallocated, misclassified. It's either a proper racing circuit that could do with some improvements, or a themed circuit that could do with some more information. Perhaps maybe in the description, which could be a perfect place to do it. There needs a bit more information and a bit more things to be made clear about what the theme of the circuit actually is. Because at the minute, I'm just not getting it, and the tyre stacks are awful. But then again, if it's trying to be a proper racing circuit, then the tyre stacks are awful, but if it's not, then it doesn't matter so much. Okay, I'm gonna try to give my thoughts about this as if it was trying to be a proper racing circuit, because that's the only way that I feel I can get any value to people watching, or anybody wanting to create tracks out of this. The tyre stacks are bad, obviously, but apart from that, the route is quite good. There's some nice, it's a nice layout. It uses something completely new by using the stunt road pieces to go in, you know, underneath the bridge and around the outside. To me, this is a proper racing circuit that could do with a few small improvements. But it's a nice layout. I mean, I like the corners. I like the layout in general. You know, going underneath this bridge, it's all completely new stuff. Maybe it's just me not getting what the theme of this is meant to be. If it is trying to be a proper racing circuit, I would get rid of these, obviously. The tunnels. But, and the split lane obviously wouldn't work if it was a proper racing circuit. But It lacks an identity. The track lacks an identity, but otherwise it's quite a nice track. That's my final hypothesis and thought on it. Are we actually going to win? Actually going to win a race? Can you believe it? We had to defend though. We definitely had to defend. Quick Ned Tech with the $1. So I have a semi-proper track that is meant to be a long track, 4 to 5 minute lap time for supercars. Let's go on somebody else. Should that be submitted under proper, or would it fit better elsewhere? Well, it depends what you mean as semi-proper. Rigged? Yeah, it probably was rigged. I like the Itali, what can I say? Thanks for the GGs though. Oh yeah, if it's been a proper racing circuit, that pit lane needs significant work as well. Because you can easily skip over into the pit lane. And there are destructible barriers in the pit lane as well. So, that's another issue. But the layout is nice. But there are a lot of corner cuts as well, that's true. I don't know, I don't get it. I don't get the track. I don't get it. And I don't get how it was put in as a themed circuit. Best lap as well. I mean, that was only because I was defending so hard from everybody else and they weren't able to do a better one. And I got caught up pretty quickly, especially from Blue Eyed Malice in the Entity. There's probably a few people who have played that before, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they are just better than me, but... Okay, ramble over. I think the theme was tyres. There were a lot of big tyres around and small tyre stacks too. But then why doesn't the title have anything to do with tyres? Why does the description not have anything to do with tyres? You gotta cover all the bases with tracks. It's not just about the layout and the checkpoints and the props. It's about the title. It's about the description. You gotta have a bit of everything. All right, so this is like a standard city circuit. I feel like doing coupes. We'll do a crew member invites if he actually gets to anyone. QuickNet Tech with the 25 bits. It's mostly proper, but it has no pit lane and is a little rough due to running out of props for covering things. So you've got a long 4 to 5 minute lap circuit that doesn't have a pit lane and is a little rough due to running out of props for covering things, but otherwise it's a proper racing circuit. If it doesn't have... I'm tired of your nitpicking. I'm tired of hearing about tyres. If it doesn't have a specific theme to it, then it can't be a themed circuit. And if it's a long track that started out as a proper racing circuit, but then you ran out of props, then it's just not a very good proper racing circuit. I didn't say 45 minutes. I said 4 to 5 minutes. It needs to... You need to either make it shorter and improve the props usage, or figure out a better way to prop some of the bits that you don't have propped very well. Let's use the exemplar. You can't just half finish a track or run out of props for certain parts of a track.
Oh, what a scumbag!
And then say, because of that, it's now a themed circuit. It's under a different aspect. If it was trying to be a proper circuit in the first place, and it just hasn't had full permission to take out F620s, absolutely, and it hasn't been able to become what you wanted it to become, then you need to change slightly your mindset of what it should become. Personally, anyway. There may be some compromises you can make. Chef Chiefs 88 with the subscription. Love this stream. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. And you know, you're watching the stream as well, so you're not going to need to watch the video on YouTube tomorrow. You've already seen it. Thank you so much for the subscription, Chef Chiefs 88. Appreciate it, man. What if the theme is half-finished circuit? Well, fair enough. I mean, you know, you can go with that. I would take a track that had a theme of, you know, this is something that I've literally just thought of right now as a potential theme for a half-finished track, but a track that plays into the theme of old versus new. So like the first half of the track is all old props or old style of circuit with lampposts uncovered and prop usage. No prop usage at all, possibly, you know, standard cutting coroners type stuff, say. And then the second half of the track is the new stuff, and it's all propped out nicely, and that would be a theme circuit, because the theme is, and if the title plays into that theme and the description plays into that theme, old versus new and stuff like that. There you go, there's an idea for a theme circuit for someone if they want to create it. I am winning, but I don't feel good about it, because I started at the front. People complain when I start at the front, people complain when I go to the back. People will catch up to me. I mean, I'm in an exemplar. There's going to be Zions and Felons that are going to be able to catch up to me. Checkpoint could do with some improvement. Checkpoint could do with some improvement. It's not very often we are mentioning on these streams about checkpoint placement, because most people, we're going left here, most people seem to have it down by now. But I'll clarify it here. When it comes to checkpoint placement, okay. That was my fault. What the what is happening at the front of this race? That was my fault that he crashed, and then I don't know what half third place was doing. At least we're back in the pack now. I was going to say, yeah, the general rule when it comes to checkpoint placement is it should be on the apex of a corner. So most of these are absolutely fine, you know, it's on the apex like this. And the next checkpoint should be visible from the previous checkpoint. And then the next checkpoint should also be as far away from the previous checkpoint as possible. So it's got to be as far away from the previous checkpoint as possible, but still visible. That's the general rule when it comes to checkpoint placement. You shouldn't have checkpoints that are hidden from view. Like some of these are, because then people have no idea where they're going. Or you shouldn't have them too early, because checkpoints, if they're meant to be on the apex of corners, people will turn and hit a barrier on the inside of a corner because the checkpoint was too early. Look at that dive bomb from the exemplar, what a beaut. As for the track, I mean, it's a standard city circuit. There's no sort of there's nothing that's like there's nothing fresh and innovative about this circuit. I mean, the fact that we've still got lampposts on the inside there isn't very good, but yeah, these are the checkpoints that I was talking about. That one in particular, you can't see that checkpoint when you're coming down that straight. That one's a bit obscured as well. You want those moved further back a little bit. I can't cope. I can't handle it with the high traction cars in an exemplar and coupe races. Yeah, there's no sort of innovation in linking different roads together or giving us a fresh You know, you could quite easily create this track before we had the cutting stunts update with all the new props. It wouldn't look as good, and maybe the Apex props wouldn't be as good either. But you certainly could create it. Oh. It's actually quite difficult, that section. Damn it! I got caught out by it. Okay, it's not that... Why is that suddenly so difficult for everybody to do, this corner? I don't get it. Everybody's getting it wrong. Oh my days. But, you know, from a track perspective, it's pretty well made. There are a few... Like I said, there are a few lampposts that need to be covered over. But apart from that, when you're looking at it, you know, just in the quality of the creation, all the Apex props work nicely. It's well covered over in most places. It works. As a proper circuit. It's quite tight and technical in some places, but that's fine. It's got a decent enough layout, but it doesn't feel like there's anything there that is altogether too sort of innovative or new. There's nothing fresh about the circuit. It's things that we've seen before. In terms of layout and things like that. There's nothing overall new. That's the only thing I would say. But it's a solid track. It's solid. It's not an awful lot bad. If I'm the only one in an exemplar, and everybody's in all these high traction Jackos and Felons and Zions, I'm not going to be happy. Yeah, solid. Solid is how I would best describe this track. Solid. Solid, if not spectacular. Come on, let me get this Zion by the end. Oh, he's going to get the Kebs. Oh, this scum. Damn it, I had the better run and then he got the Kebs. I didn't think about the Kebs, actually. I'm not sure how this got in. I'm pretty sure we universally disagreed on this one. Well, it was listed as a 2 out of the, you know, 1, 2 or 3 or 0. But I think it is a 2 because it's solid. It's just nothing overall special. But it's good that we've got the new system of sorting tracks now. So with the innovation part and the quality part. Absolutely flawless racing, guys. Congrats. Yeah, that wasn't that good. So many issues. But, you know, it wasn't bad. But like I said, the reason that this is kind of getting to the point of getting in is that we do have less tracks on Xbox One these days. The Cognoscenti Cabrio? Decent. Everything else was all high traction stuff. Always. I notice all the things, Sean. Yeah, we are when you because you can always kind of get the populations on each platform from the content creator stuff, and the Xbox side is very easily. Alright, let's do supers and we'll do 3 laps on this one, I think. But yeah, you can get an indication of the populations on each platform from the submissions that we get for these content creator streams. And Xbox is very, very low in comparison to PS4 and PC, with PS4 a slightly higher population than PC. So if it was to go up based on population of the game, PS4 has the most members and the most tracks being submitted. Then PC is a little bit less, and then Xbox is maybe half as much, I would say. Like it's a bigger difference from Xbox to PC than it is from PC to PS4. But yeah, PS4 has always been the number one in terms of population and the amount of people in the game. Cap Mestizo with the $1. How come you don't know Beep Beep I'm a Sheep? It's only the single greatest thing to come out of 2017 so far. I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I think the reason checkpoints are placed like that is so there's space to respawn. I mean, maybe that's true, but it's a compromise that I don't think is the best. You can just, you know, turn it. You could just turn it, so even if you're not facing the way that you're meant to go when you respawn, obviously as long as you're not backwards, it's not too big of a deal. Thank you, Cap Mestizo, with the $1. Appreciate it, man. Oh, sorry, I've caused incidents. I deserved everything that I've just got right there. I deserved it all. I caused so many incidents and accidents. I'll go to the back. That was just horrible. It's on the newest ASDF movie. Oh, is it? Okay. I need to watch it then. This track is a ruiner race, but it's also themed as a suspension bridge. What would you classify this as? Well, if it's got only one car allowed, then it's automatically a themed race. Assuming that the car plays into the theme of the track. Good re-entry to the track, that one. That was a very good re-entry to the track. I don't think a single prop like a if you created a wonderful suspension bridge on a track, I don't think that counts as a themed race. That's just a prop. Okay, I should clarify what I mean with a themed race. It means it has something different. It's unlike all the other types of tracks. It's not really used as a proper race. A stadium circuit, or that we've done plenty of stadium circuits these days in these streams. We've done lots of Race of Champions style circuits, split circuits where you've got two different lanes, dual circuits. Those would all be classified as themed circuits, not just a track that's based around something isn't necessarily a theme circuit unless the entire track is heavily restrictive on what it does because of that theme. If you can race all classes and it works for proper racing, then it's not a themed circuit, it's just a proper racing circuit. These tyre stacks are absolutely killing me. This is such a nice track apart from that. Like, what are they doing? I think I've opened a can of answers that cause more questions than those initially answered. Yeah, probably QuickNet. I think you did. I think you did. Can I submit a theme track? The theme is that it sucks. Well, theoretically, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, that could, if that's a theme, that it sucks, and it plays into it well, but it would still have to do something as well. It couldn't just be a terrible track and automatically have a theme of this is terrible. Let's talk about this track. The layout's good. It links two different parts of the map together. I mean, it's very difficult to go wrong with Grapeseed and Sandy Shores and stuff like that. Got a brand new section as you sort of connect between Sandy Shores and Grapeseed using the regular road at one stage and then this bridge at another stage. Didn't need to break that. Which is nice. I always say how difficult it is. I always say that it is difficult to mess up a track in Sandy Shores and Grapeseed. There's not all that much you can do to get it wrong, but this track has done one of the very, very few things that you could do to get it wrong, and it's actually fine. All of that section of the circuit. It's only when we get into this part of the circuit. The tyre stacks, what are they doing here? It would have been better just to leave everything open. If everything was like... Is that lag? I don't even know what happened there. I didn't see anyone crash into me. Maybe it was lag. Yeah, I did drive into that tyre stack. It's because I'm thinking too much about tyre stacks. Too much on the brain. So I just drove into it. Long straight here as well. Yeah, anything, like, even the old style Apex props, like just the concrete barriers would be better than the tyre stacks that we've got on this track. Those are fine, because those are just there to mark out a section of the circuit. You're not actually going to hit those. You're not going to slightly graze them and then stop dead immediately. Oh my god. This guy's lag is just ridiculous. I feel like a lot has gone into the bridge, and then there's some other nice sections like the runoff here, but then there's other sections that just haven't been thought through very well. It's like your old versus new theme. It actually is, isn't it? It's very similar. It's kind of what I was saying. That half the track is old stuff and half the track is new stuff. But this is trying to be a proper circuit. I like the bridge bit when you go under the bridge. You know, it's got a nice layout, but too much reliance on old props in weird sections when there's lots of new props that would do the job better, which makes it weird because there are lots of new props already on this track. It's a really good track that's just... It's not on that top level just because of these little fine details. Apart from those, it would be a really nice... I mean, it's a really nice track as it is. It's just... it has a few specific things. That have a big impact, really. Not enough track dividers. I was going to say that, but now someone else has mentioned it. There aren't an awful lot of... There are a few places where you could have done with some barriers across, because if a crash happens at one part of the track and then it spills onto the other part of the track whilst it winds around it, that's an issue. It is. It's like a tale of two halves. That track, some really nice sections, and then some really not nice sections. Strange, interesting. Yeah, Stance, can you leave, please? There's just too much lag from Stance. Vormalowitz left earlier when he was lagging. He's lagging. Stance is lagging a lot. Okay, this is the last track. That went quick. Let's do... This looks very interesting, this track. I don't want to do supers again. We haven't had a rally track this week. Should we do muscle? High speed circuit. Let's do muscle again. Utility. Vans. I don't want to do vans on this track. I want to... This track looks impressive. It feels... It looked on the surface that it could be one of the better tracks from the stream. I don't really want to do vans on it. Or something slow. Anyway, last track of the playlist. We'll see if we can end on a high. We started off really good as well. I think we've had a midpoint through the stream of tracks that are like sort of okay, but not fantastic, and maybe some issues in them. But we started off really nice. Maybe we can finish really nice as well. I'm not going to the back. I'm sick of dealing with the lag. I might give up a few positions after we've got past the fair few corners. I hear so many crashes behind. Oh, give up a few positions on my own. Actually, I didn't. How did I not lose positions on that huge oversteer? There we go. There's one. Right, so we're starting in the airport. Ooh, bridge. Bridge over the sea. See? Close racing is possible. Oh, that's tricky. Didn't know that was coming up. What could you do there to make that more obvious? Into the storm drain and back out again. Sunset's pretty nice. I don't like that you can cut on the inside there. Especially with the lamppost being uncovered. Maybe that was just one that was missed, but lampposts seem to be uncovered everywhere. I mean, you know, sorry, covered everywhere. Except that one location that we just saw. I was asking way too much. Where are we? Is this by the side of the airport? Oh, that's cool. And then we're going into the airport again. Ah, this is nice. Nice layout. An airport track where we're going in and out of the airport, but we're also going in various different new locations that we're not used to seeing, like the storm drain and stuff. And we're having a bridge over to the docks area. Yeah, nice. This is nice. Very high speed, fast circuit as well. So, it's a bit tricky. The muscles. This was a good class to choose, I think, for this track. Ah! I'm not driving very well in this last race, but I like the track. Oh my god. I am driving horribly on this last race. Yeah, I haven't been driving wonderfully on all the other races, but particularly bad in this one. That's a bad checkpoint. Only one checkpoint is needed there. You can get rid of the first one, to be honest. You don't need it. That's why I messed up on the first lap. Checkpoints too close together. Storm drain, that's nice. Then up a bridge. A few lampposts on the left that could be covered. This is the main offender though, because the quicker line is to go through here and that lamppost is uncovered. So just try to cover off that entire line. or at least cover the lamppost if you want the line to exist on the pavement. Yeah, it's well made. The transitions on the props are nice and smooth and stuff like that. It's got a nice layout. Takes you some interesting places. Especially around here, this is pretty cool. Like, you never go around here in a racetrack. Like above the sea, around the outside of the airport. All over the road in this race. I'm not finishing well. Yeah, nice track that. Nice track. Two checkpoints and that chicane are fine, but the placement needs some adjustment so that the first checkpoint shows a double or triple arrow and makes it look like a slower turn section. Yeah, I would agree with that. I personally think that 2 is unnecessary, but yeah, just either way, whatever's at the minute, whatever it is right now, doesn't work. And then that lamppost. Someone mentioning about a cone. What cone? Cone on top of an apex or something? Someone not liking that? I can't remember seeing a cone. But yeah, nice nice track to end on. And I really, you know, those are the sort of tracks that we see a lot more these days, and we need to see a lot more to give them to give them something a bit more special, something a bit extra that sets them apart from, say, the city circuit that we saw earlier, which might be, you know, solidly made but nothing special. That takes us out of the airport in different locations, things like that. So yeah, those are the Xbox circuits. If you think you can do better, then you can submit your track in the description. But yeah, that's it for another week of track showcases, and we'll be doing PC again next week, and then back to it all with PS4, Xbox One, and PC every single week thereafter.